Your operations are the heartbeat to your business. I created this podcast to help you balance your childlike innovation with parent-like efficiency. Welcome to Daily Ops Boost. Yo, what is up, team? We're back with another Daily Ops Boost. Appreciate you guys tuning in today. I want you guys to just squeeze your toothpaste. That's it. That's all I want you to do with your operations. Squeeze your toothpaste, get more out of it, right? And if you've ever read the book Profit First, you know this analogy, and I'm pulling it straight from that, but I think it's such a good example, and this falls back on the rule of Parkinson's law. If you aren't familiar with Parkinson's law, look it up. I always butcher the definition, but look it up real quick after you get through this podcast. But Mike Michalowicz, the author of Profit First, talks about squeezing your tube of toothpaste, right? And essentially what he means by this is if you've ever gotten to the end of your tube of toothpaste, you'll kind of notice that you will squeeze the ever-living daylights out of it, especially if you don't have any storage left over, right, of extra toothpaste. You will squeeze as much out of it as you possibly can, and you'll continue to utilize that empty tube of toothpaste for as long as possible. And it's crazy, like you can continue to squeeze more out of it and get more use out of it. It seems like for weeks after you're like, well, this is probably the last time I can use it. This is probably the last time I can use it. But a little bit more comes out every single time. And when we have a full tube of toothpaste, what do? Well, we utilize a lot, right? Like when we have an empty tube of toothpaste, we're utilizing the minimum amount. When we have a brand new tube of toothpaste, we just layer that toothbrush with a huge glob of toothpaste, right? And so the idea of this is more on the financial side of the business. Thank you so much for listening to Daily Ops Boost. We really appreciate your attention on this podcast. Go follow me over on Instagram. We post a ton of video content over there that is going to be valuable to your agency operations. So head over there, go follow me. It'll take 2 seconds. Appreciate you. Right? If you make less available to yourself, you will use less, right? So if you guys are really struggling with operating expenses as the example here, and you're like, man, like our operating expenses are really high, we're not bringing in as much profit as we want to be, then seeing your business as a tube of toothpaste, as an empty tube of toothpaste, and making less available to yourself will make it to where your operating expenses will not be as high. And so how we do this is essentially we separate our bank accounts and we have an operating expense account. And what we'll do is we'll just make less available inside of our operating expense account. And we'll say, hey, this is what we have to operate off of for the month. And we know how much profit we specifically want to take. We know how much in distributions and payroll we want to make for the month. And we know how much we need to allocate towards taxes. And we'll put all of that aside first. And then, whatever's left over is what's available for operating expenses. And if we don't take care of all that other stuff first, what happens is that we get a full tube of toothpaste and we'll use that full tube of toothpaste incorrectly. And we will utilize that full tube of toothpaste in order to hold our operating expenses or be able to bolster our operating expenses. But if you figure out how to make less available to you by paying everything out first, okay, taxes, your profit accounts, right? You're taking your profit first, hence the name of the book. If you make less available to you, then your operating expenses have to come down. So the idea of this is to continue to squeeze your tube of toothpaste, make less available to you in order to have less operating expenses, and so you can take care of all the actual important things of the business first. You'll be more optimal that way. You'll bring in more profit, and you will have a business that works on abundance and not scarcity. Hopefully that's helpful. Thank you so much for listening to Daily Ops Boost. We really appreciate your attention on this podcast. Go follow me over on Instagram. We post a ton of video content over there that is going to be valuable to your agency operations. So head over there, go follow me. It'll take 2 seconds. Appreciate you.